It's never a good idea to get your boyfriend pregnant. Since she was 8 months pregnant last Friday evening when she was shot and killed, I'm going to assume that somewhere, buried beneath Camdyn Rider's he/him pronouns, she had a vagina. In the hateful and unenlightened world of my youth, that would have automatically qualified her as a woman. Nowadays, we are told that babies have genders randomly assigned to them at birth. Interestingly, back on June 19th, only a little more than a month ago during much happier times, Camdyn did not hesitate to randomly assign a gender to her developing fetus before it was born, when she announced on Facebook, "It's a boy." It's crazy to imagine that I'm now going to be a father, especially to a little boy. But man, I'm so excited and couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier to be doing it with you, Riley Groover. Thank you for loving me, and thank you for this baby boy. Oliver John Lee will be loved by many. I can't wait for this journey with you, my love. It's hard to pinpoint an exact date, but judging from her social media history, the girl who appears to have been born as Cortney Rider decided about 2 years ago that she was a boy named Camdyn Rider. Around the same time, she embarked upon a romantic relationship with a ginger-haired fellow named Riley John Groover. No one seems to be disputing that Mr. Groover was a biological male. I'm also unsure whether, under the current rules, anyone is able to posthumously change their gender, because according to police in Polk County, Florida, Mr. Groover killed himself after firing multiple bullets at Ms. Rider. Their unborn baby also perished in the incident. In April of last year, Camdyn Rider announced that she was engaged to Mr. Groover. She also pledged to love him till death do us part. From the second I laid eyes on you, I knew that I wanted you in my life. I didn't know as what yet, but I knew I wanted you there. You showed me who I can be, and you showed me what love is supposed to feel like. The more we talked and hung out, the more I grew to like you. You're silly and funny and stupid and adorable. And I love you so fucking much, RJ Groover. The way you look at me is amazing and it radiates love. I'm so happy to say that I'm going to marry my best friend. Thank you for everything, my love. And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. In sickness and in health, till death do us part. I love you with all my heart. Death did them part on Friday, June 21st, 2023, at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man allegedly shot and killed his pregnant boyfriend, and then himself in murder-suicide. Read the original headline on lawandcrime.com. At some point shortly thereafter, presumably in response to widespread online mocking, the site added the word transgender in between pregnant and boyfriend. Brashly and unabashedly, though, the Polk County Sheriff's Office insisted on misgendering the pregnant boyfriend. Pregnant woman and her unborn baby killed in apparent domestic-related double murder-suicide. The press release quotes Sheriff Grady Judd, who has the most southern sheriff-sounding name I've heard since Buford Pusser. This was a violent and horrific double murder that ended the lives of a 21-year-old woman who was 8 months pregnant and her unborn baby. When the suspect became enraged, family members and neighbors did everything they could to help her get away from him. Please keep this family in your prayers. The gunman, or is that gun person, appears to have been quite a rambunctious 26-year-old fellow. According to court records in September of 2014, Grover admitted to firing a BB gun through a home's window. The suspect also openly stated that he willfully, maliciously, and repeatedly harassed the victim via text and phone calls after the victim asked him to stop. This has been ongoing for approximately 1 year. When a deputy attempted to arrest Groover for the BB gun incident, the aspirant murderer kicked the officer in the leg, requiring him to be tased. He was convicted of battery on a law enforcement officer. In March of 2016, the 19-year-old Groover got into an argument with a 75-year-old woman, possibly his grandmother, which saw him smashing a bottle on the floor of her home and using a hatchet to break several doors. According to court records, the victim, redacted, was on the front porch and observed Groover approaching her with a weapon, which she believed was the hatchet, in his hand. The victim was in fear for her safety based on actions and statements made by Groover, so she began swinging a broom at Groover to defend herself. Groover dropped the weapon and grabbed the upper right arm of the victim, causing a 3-inch skin tear on her upper right arm. Groover advised he never intended to harm the victim. Despite all this, the carrot-topped assailant continued to live with his family in Winter Haven, Florida. In October of 2018, he turned his wrath on another female family member. It's hard to tell from reports, but it may have been his mother. According to court documents, I learned Groover and the victim are related by blood and are currently residing together as family. I then spoke to the victim, who reported she and Groover, defendant, were involved in an argument over household chores and the family Wi-Fi router being shut off. The victim reported Groover became angry and aggressive during the altercation and left in his 2010 BMW 328i. Shortly thereafter, Groover returned in his BMW as the woman was sitting on the front porch of the house they shared. He drove the car onto the lawn and stopped only a few feet from her, which placed her in fear that he was going to run over and kill her. He then chased her into the house, where she locked herself in a bedroom. He opened the bedroom door with a key and attempted to stab her, leaving a small puncture wound near her abdomen. In 2020, about a year before Groover met and embarked upon an intimate relationship with the girl-turned-boy whom he impregnated and ultimately shot to death, Florida police dropped charges against him for the stabbing incident after the victim said that she only wanted him to receive medication and counseling for his autism. Again, according to court records, based on victim's wishes and proof that the defendant is receiving care from a group home facility to address these needs, the state believes further prosecution is not warranted. Mr. Groover's mother, apparently a very forgiving sort, allowed her son and his newfound gender-confused mating partner to live with her. She also allegedly kept a gun in her house to ward off outside predators. Police say it was the same gun that her son used to kill his fiancée, their unborn child, and himself. According to an interview that Groover's mother gave to a local TV station, the couple loved one another, but had a volatile relationship. She said they would often argue about household chores, and that it may have been a chore-related dispute that sparked the double murder-suicide last Friday night. In a chillingly prescient Facebook entry from April of 2021, Camdyn Rider reposted a screenshot from another woman that stated, "On behalf of, every fat kid in the USA, I'm gonna go ahead and call BS on the whole bullying creates mass shooters narrative. LGBTQ kids, kids of color, poor kids, girl kids get bullied. Who's doing the shooting? White kids whose parents don't secure their guns." The gay press, in their inimitably gay way, said that Rider's death was only one example of an epidemic of anti-trans murders that we keep hearing is ravaging the nation. But there is not one single ginger-colored hair's worth of evidence that Groover killed Rider and their unborn baby because she had recently taken to calling herself a man. As I've said, it appears that she started masquerading as a male around the time that the two of them became romantically involved. All evidence suggests that this twisted pair of flightless lovebirds were simply two horribly unhappy and messed up misfits whose relationship was doomed to fail from the get-go. Transphobia was the least of their problems.
The White Panther.